Hi, my name is Jackie Lee Price and welcome to Shadowboxruk. Hi and welcome to Angel Fernandez. Looking all tanned actually, how you doing?
I think actually I got my Latin, my Spanish heritage here, and especially with this good weather.
Coming through. How you doing?
I'm good, thank you. I mean, just trying to keep as busy as possible, with just like training myself, training the boys over the phone, and reading stuff, watching videos. I mean, you got to, because otherwise, with this lockdown, one person would just go crazy, really.
Yeah, I can imagine you like with a notebook, sort of just absorbing everything. Just absorbing everything. You really love your craft though, don't you?
Yes, I do, but I'm not kind of like the person that I take notes in terms of like videos or things like that. It's just the notes is just more kind of like I see ways of training, or if I'm reading something like the book I'm reading now, you get to see what one coach used to work or what the other coach used to work, and two great coaches that both done great things in the history of boxing, and they both kind of like, one for example was agreeing that you got to train very, very hard. I'm just going to give you like the example, like Kaz Yamato wanted everything to be really hard. You've got to feel these things before you actually get into the fight, and the sparring hard as well. And then you go to Angelo Dundee, and he said, I don't want to see knockouts in the ring, in sparring. I want to see he here just learning. So both done great things.
Yeah.
So it's just one of the things that kind of like you pick in here, you pick in there, and you somehow, you just like improving yourself as a coach, and you start kind of like putting it into action with the boys, really.
Yeah. And you've got a good group of boxers, haven't you? Sultan Zubek, O'Hara Davis, Kwass.
Yeah.
Who else you got?
Charles
Joshua.
and
That's
Charles
bad.
Franklin.
Charles Franklin, blimey. That's bad, isn't it? Yeah. A great bunch of guys. And
Yes.
so how have they kind of, how do you go about picking who you're going to work with? Because I'm guessing you're in great demand now.
It's just not really kind of like picking, I mean, each of them, they have got their times, for training. I train, all of them myself. But you got to understand when someone is going into companies, for example, I mean, just to give you an example, Anthony Joshua, I mean, his camp is going to be 10 to 12 weeks, but it's not so bad because you got to think me being Sheffield and Loughborough, is 40 minutes away. So I could easily go back and forward, and the time I'm with Joshua, my focus is going to be fully focused onto the guy. And then when I get back to Loughborough, I still got time to train the other boys, because when you do something that you love, and I mean, I'm sure that you could relate yourself with this as well. You don't really see the times. There were times where in the past I was just like leaving my house at 6 a.m. and not coming home like at 10 o'clock, and it didn't feel like work. If I'm honest with you, I mean, half of the time I was like driving, over to London, and then to Essex, and then here to Surrey, and but you don't see it because you love in what you do, and I'm grateful for what I do, really.
And in terms of, you were saying that you're training the boys still. Mm-hmm. So what sort of things are you doing on a daily basis just to kind of keep their foot in, in the training camp?
I mean, we got a good guy, in Ricky Desensi. He puts the runs for the boys to do. We are in a group. He takes them all up, when there is runs or there is like actually sprints, the boys call him, or when there is like a boxing session, they call me. It's not the same, of course it's not the same, but it's just like little things that when they doing like shadow boxing, for example, you just like little things that you could go, just like make sure you just like do this or do that, or you're doing this, just try to practice this thing. It's just more about just kind of like taking over, and at the same time is themselves like improving, because they seeing these things, and it's like things that they need to work on. So it works well.
Yeah, nice. And I'm guessing that you've got a little WhatsApp group going on with some bits and pieces flying about.
Yes. You could tell Charles that later what he sends into that group.
Do I want to know?
Maybe.
Ooh, I think that's an off-camera conversation.
That's okay. Just make it fluent, you know.
So in terms of, how has anyone sort of reached out to you saying, okay, such and such fight is going ahead, but it's going to be a couple of months down the line, or is it literally nobody has a clue what's going on?
No one really has reached in terms of like this is the actual date or no date, because end of the day, I mean, I'm not an expert, but a virus is a virus, you know, and quite hard to tell this is going to be the day or that is going to be kind of like where boxing will start. It's a hard thing because, I mean, we get the emails from the British board, you know, saying that we're still being locked down and they don't know when boxing is going to start again. But then again, I mean, if everything, I don't know, goes well, I mean, some people are kind of like pessimistic in terms of like they don't see any boxing going on this year, but then other people saying maybe like September, October, November. Yeah. I mean, I'm maybe gonna go down the end of the year thing, because some of these guys, they're probably going to start needing kind of like a good 10 to 12 week, you know, training, even if you're going to go into 4 rounders or 6 rounders, because you need to have that kind of like momentum going on again, you know, and you're going to have that sort of time to kind of like prepare yourself and get used to back into that training, because when you're not having anybody pushing you, you know, the way that people pushes in the gym is hard. I know you're taking over, but it's not the same.
It's totally different, isn't it?
Yeah.
And so the Joshua Pulev, his name's Pulev. Is that still going ahead?
I think so. I mean, for what I heard, you know, that's still going ahead. I mean, that's what Eddie said as well, you know, Sky Sports. But to be honest, it's one of these things that I'm not really kind of like getting into kind of like, how you say that the political side, if you want to call it that way in boxing. Yeah. I mean, my job is be a coach, you know, and I leave these things down to kind of like managers, promoters to deal with. And then they'll say to us, listen, we start in camp, or this is the camp, or this is the opponent, and then we go from there, really.
Okay, just between me and you though, I know we said we were not going to get political. Joshua Fury, come on, are we going to see it?
I mean, Joshua came up on Sky Sports saying that it's a fight that he wants. Fury said that he wants the fight, but Jackie is you know, I mean, when is that going to happen now, because due of this pandemic, you know? But I am sure both of them guys, you know, they want the fight, and it will be good. It will be good for them. It will be good for British boxing, and it will be good for boxing in general, you know, because I believe that fight would definitely go, you know, to the history of boxing.
Oh, please, let's take the boxing club. So you've talked about in the past that you get AJ follows you on Instagram, and you're like, it's AJ. So when he finally calls you, were you a bit like, or were you just like, let me just?
Nah, it was.
Did you take
a few? Come on, of course, because it's just like, I don't know. I mean, I did say to him, and I did say, you know, I had a feeling. I mean, some people might think, I mean, how you're gonna have that, or how you're not gonna have that, but I remember that I was with Sultan Salbek in Cardiff, and I was tired because, you know, the fight, and I've been there already for like 2 days, and I woke up the following day and I saw that he lost, and then I swear to God, I don't know what it was or how to explain this feeling. But I think this money is just coming to me, and I was a nobody at the time, and I'm still be a nobody. But obviously, you know, if you're talking about football or anything, I mean, if you got the big names coming to you, of course, it's gonna make you happy, because you're doing what you love, and then all of a sudden, is one of the biggest names in boxing. You know, coming and reach out is an amazing thing. You know.
Yeah. And you know, talking about, you've sorted into this team now. You go up to Sheffield. I've had experience of, you know, the too many cooks spoil the broth type of thing.
Yeah.
How does that dynamic work?
I think it worked well. The results are there, you know, in his fight. And as I said, you know, I said previously that you kind of go there with egos. Just don't forget that Roma Kraken has been his man for all this time. And to be honest, I wouldn't like someone come in and tell me really what to do, you know, with any of my boxes. Yes, you can give your opinion, you know, or what you're thinking of this or that, but there is ways of saying things, and then there is ways of kind of like you be there thinking like, this is who I am. So you kind of go like that. You got to go there with the thinking of, we're here for this man, and just let's do the best, you know, of our capabilities, you know, to bring the best out of him. And he did. I mean, we all get well in that team, you know, and he worked well. I mean, maybe you go and ask other boxer, and he might not want 3 coaches, you know, and then you're gonna ask other 3 coaches to work together, and that cannot happen, you know. I cannot deny the experience and the years that Roma Kraken has been in boxing, you know, and Job as well. So I think it's a good team, you know. We all respect each other, and I hope in the future we still be working together.
Yeah, that sounds great, actually. But who gets the final tick of the box?
Of course, it's kind of like going to be Rob, and I don't have an issue, you know, just like saying this, you know. The thing is like we sat together, you know, we watched the fight, we put the plan together. But remember, we in Sheffield, that's where Roma Kraken is based.
Yeah.
And Rob puts what he believes, you know, and he's the one, he knows the man inside out. You know, I mean, I'll get really well with Joshua, you know, but Rob knows that man inside out. And in boxing, you know, it's like myself and Sultan. I could bring any other coach, or I could bring somebody else into the changing room. I know what that man needs. So you know.
Yeah. Rob McCracken, quality coach there as well. Absolutely quality. If you like this video, please go ahead and give it a thumbs up. If you're not a subscriber of Shadowboxruk UK, we'd love to see you, so please go ahead and subscribe now.